welcome to Sheepless Needles. It's a vegan podcast that's not about being vegan, where we do all sorts of fun stuff like knit, like look at really cute bunnies and cats who will make an appearance, I'm sure. Anyway, welcome. If you're new, get ready for the goofiness. If you're returning, thanks for hanging out and dealing with the craziness. We got lots to cover, so let's do this. So let's just get going. Grab yourself a comfy chair. I almost said comfy beverage, but you know what I mean. There we go. Look, that's what we're having today. I love Atomic Pumpkin. It is pumpkin. It is pumpkin time. Ah, refreshment. Okay, well, I'm Shannon. And you're probably wondering, what are you wearing, Shannon? What has happened? Ta-da! I have finished Daphne. Toot toot Max. Cat on the floor. So I'm going to stand. You have to see her in all of her glory. It's kind of hard to. Here, you know what I'll do? Hold on. Let's do it this way. Let's move the. Let's just. I can't even get her off. She's so big. Okay. You guys. What? She's so big. Right? She is 6 feet wide. Past my arm span for sure. And about 4.5, 5 feet deep, depending on. But come on. She's blowing out. The colors are blowing out. There we go. Look how wonderful she is, you guys. I did this. Okay. So, I also coordinated the cosmetics to go with the aesthetic. So, take a look. See, look. You guys, I love it. All right, so let's back the train up and talk about this a little bit. We're just going to get right into the knitting. I haven't even taken a sip of this beer. This is ridiculous. Hold on. Ah, so refreshing. Okay, so, sorry. Okay, this is the Slipstravaganza by Stephen West. This was the MKAL from 2021, which I did not participate in. I did later. So, I don't know technically how long she took, and I don't have Ravelry up to see when I cast her on. Hang on, let me pull. Okay, here's the deal. I started Daphne, as she is thusly named. I started Daphne on August 1st, and I completed her on October 2nd. Now, she is not the only thing I knit on during that time period, and I am not a fast knitter. I think there's probably people out there who could have gotten Daphne done much more quickly than I did. But you know what? We go at our own pace, we do our own thing, and that's that. So, a little bit about Daphne. I used Willow yarns in the Ambiance family. It was a 4-color shawl. I used Celestial, Refresh, Aloe, and a yellow color that I don't remember the name of. It was a 3-weight yarn, which is not what the pattern called for. And let me just tell you something. I used a lot of yarn. Let's see if I can find the grams here. All right, on the yellow, which was, let's pull her back here so you can see her. on the lovely gold color, I used 245 grams, which equals about 497 yards of the gold. I used 161 grams of the light blue, which is Refresh, and that's about 327 yards. On Celestial, which is this beautiful, brighter kind of teal, I used 162 grams, which is about 329 yards. And then on Aloe, which is kind of that muted green, on the Aloe I used 163 grams, which is about 331 yards. Did I add all of that up anywhere? Probably not. Oh, I did. So in total, that is 1,484 yards of yarn. Daphne's a beast. I knit her using my Addi Rocket Square needles, which I love. And I used a US 5, and I started out with a 40-inch connection cable. And then when you get to the point in the pattern where you basically double your stitches, I had to move it to a 60-inch because I couldn't even knit on it. It was a wonderful project. It was much easier than it appeared to me when I first saw it. The most difficult portion of the pattern, honestly, and it has really great instructions. So I say it's difficult, but it's not. Hi, Max. We're gonna be working around the cat. It's not as bad as it sounds, but it is the part where you are connecting or starting section 2. So this is section 1. All right, section 1 is the honeycomb, and then section 2 are those kind of rectangular blocks with mini checks in them. And it basically is a technique, and obviously I'm not going to totally tell you what it is because it's a paid-for pattern by Stephen West. You can get it. But it's a lot of yarn overs and knitting into yarn overs and counting. So really the technique and what the stitches aren't complicated at all. It's just that you have to take your time and pay attention to what you're doing. But that was the most, the most harrowing, if we want to say that, portion of knitting it. Other than that, it was just about being patient once you got to the point where it grew and the rows were so friggin' long. I was probably mentally done with Daphne 2 chevrons into the end, and the end has, okay, so this is the end, so it has 6 chevrons. When I finished this aloe chevron, my brain was done. I was like, okay, I need her off. I need her to go celebrate her own independence. And so, there is that. It was a lengthy end for sure. But I couldn't be more happy. If you are on the fence about knitting anything that he has put out, he being Stephen West, Stephen like I'm his best friend, come on. Just do it. I mean, he gives such great instructions. So that wraps up the 2-month project of the Slipstravaganza, which means I can celebrate with a beer break. Okay, so when I finished Daphne, that gave me time to go back to some things that I had on my needles already. I've had a couple projects in stasis, basically, and how was that? That was totally weird how that came out of my mouth. That means I need more beer. And I was feeling pretty guilty because I wasn't touching some things. So I went back to a couple things, and we'll talk about the first one, which is my Halloween sweater. I'm so excited for this, you guys. Okay, so this is ridiculous. Hang on. Yeah, that's what happens. You gotta put your glasses on. All right, so this is Let's Boogie, and it is by Katie Francesci, who is a dyer at yarnlove.com. It is a very well written pattern. It is my second sweater. Nothing has overwhelmed me. And for my second sweater, can we just talk about the fact that I picked a 4-color stranded color work sweater? I don't know what I was thinking, but let me drag her over here. Don't have a name for her yet. I don't know if I don't know if she's a her either, so we'll find out. They will let me know when they are ready to. Okay, so can you, ta-da. So I've already separated for the sleeves, which are in waist yarn. You can see, here, let me get it to a not an ugly side for you to look at. Is there one? Probably not. It's a hot mess, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. And I will tell you why it's a hot mess in a moment. Okay, so I am using Premier Basic Everyday DK anti-pilling yarn. And obviously I'm just using Halloween colors. It is 4 colors, so there is an orange, there's a cream, there's a gold, there's a black. In the top portion of the yoke, I think I was doing really well, tension-wise. When you get down to this is a hot mess. The ghosts are a hot mess, you guys. Now, look, the reality is when I'm wearing it, from far away, it looks great. I think it's just if you get right up on it, you're going to be like, wow, you were holding your tension way off. The only people who are really going to notice that are going to be other knitters. And really, we've all been there. And we'll be there again. So, is it wearable? 100%. I would put it on, but you don't need to see the drama of me trying to get my arms out of it with the needles still there. And please tell me I did not lose that. Okay, I did not. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this by Halloween, but we were talking on one of our meetups and I was like, well, maybe I can just wear it as a vest. I think I can get the body done. I don't know that the sleeves will be done, and I'm okay with that. So making great progress. I watched videos on how to do stranded color work, and I gotta say, it's the same thing that happened to me when I started knitting. I kind of I can hear what people tell you to do, but I kind of have to find my own groove with it because I can't do the two-handed thing at all, which is going to present a huge problem if there's brioche in the upcoming project that I'm working on. Not the sweater, but a different project. I just have to finagle with one hand, and I will probably eventually get better at doing the two-hand throwing, whatever. I am just not there yet, and I am not going to pressure myself into trying to do things that my brain cannot tell my hands to do yet. I need more practice. So, am I totally stoked for this? Yes, because I think it's cute. I am not totally stoked for how bad that is. Now, I am going to just tell myself, oh, it's just texture. It's a ribbing pattern. Y'all know it's not supposed to look like that. It's my second sweater, my first color work, and for that, I think it's darn tootin' good. So if you have negative things to say, you keep them to yourself and zip it. Okay, so this is the third project, and it's the Botanical Shawl by Stephen West. I'm not even going to get it out. And I'm not going to get it out because I haven't knit on it. I will start knitting on it again. It's a project for my husband, and I just need to remind myself, so this is my reminder. You can remind me in the comments, hey Shannon, don't forget about your botanic shawl, because it's just been sitting in that bag on your dining room table for only 4 weeks. Okay. Whatever. Don't wait. You know what? Don't act like you don't have stuff that you've just set to the side. Oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. I know you. You and I. Simpatico. Okay, so very exciting, very exciting. Stephen West, 2021. Oh, you know what? Earlier, I think I said that the MKAL Daphne was the 2021. It wasn't. It was the 2020 MKAL. So rewind, fast forward back to where we are, current time. Wow, that was like a little sci-fi moment. Anyway, so the 2021 MCAL kicked off on October 8th, which was Friday. And I am not going to kind of share the project until I'm done because one, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who might be working on it. And two, Lord knows how I'm going to do with it. So I guess if I have a total debacle with it, maybe I will post that, but I'll let you know spoilers ahead of time. He did release a really great instructional video for the first couple sections, and I cannot wait to do them. I was having a moment of like, how do I want to pick my colors? Now, I did do a gauge swatch for my colors, so I have it upside down. So I cast on using US 5s, and I quickly realized that that was not going to create the right fabrics. So once you get up to the top, I'm using a US 4, and that is what I decided to go with. So these are my colors. This is Tencel yarn by LeRoo Crochet, who is a hand dyer from Etsy. I think she's based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I have My Old Friend is the black, Fool's Gold is the gold, What Lurks is the gray, Poison Apple is the red or the burgundy, and then Hoarfrost is the variegated. I think what I want to do with this, for those people who are knitting the MKAL, you will know what I mean by this. I think I'm going to use Hoarfrost, which is the bottom color, as color A. I am going to use My Old Friend, which is the black, as color B. And then I'm going to do gold for C. And then I don't know what order I'll do those two. I think that's how I'm going to approach it. I have not cast on yet. I will probably cast on some at some point this weekend. I just don't know when. This was one of those weekends. Do you guys ever have this happen where you have so much stuff that you need to get accomplished that you have no friggin' idea how you're going to do it? Like, okay, so I stupidly, and this is non-knitting, but who cares? It's not even, I said stupidly, and it's not stupid. I signed up for two different challenges in terms of working out. One of them is a challenge. It's the National Step Challenge that's through Humana and their Go 365 program, where we get Humana through our work. That's my insurance. And it is a month-long step challenge. And progressively through the challenge, when all the participants get to a certain threshold of steps, it's a level of donation for food banks that they donate to. So it's for a great cause. So I signed up for that. Now, normally that wouldn't be a big deal, but at the same time, I signed up for a challenge with my sister who just texted me. I'm going to read this to you. She says, "Are you weaving like Steven?" She knows me so well. Okay, so anyway, we both have a Peloton and we do the Power Zone challenges. If you have a Peloton, if you've never taken a Power Zone class, get on it. You do not know what you're missing. From a fitness perspective, they're incredible classes. From a social kind of like, working out with friends type of environment, they're perfect. And so anyway, this is an 8-week challenge, and it's basically you ride, there's certain rides you have to do. I'm not going to, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I signed up for two of those challenges at the same time. So literally I'm working out a lot. So there's that. So this morning when I got up, like I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get done this weekend. I had a live ride at 8 a.m., a 60-minute ride. Then I had to come down here because every weekend I break down and clean everything down here for the bunnies. And that can take anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on the cleaning cycle, because we have a cycle that progresses every 4 weeks with the bunnies. So anyway, after I rode, I came down and did the bunnies. Then we clean the rest of the house together, my husband and I. So he does all the vacuuming and he cleans the bathroom. and I do all the dusting and picking up and putting away. So I did that. By the time I got that done, what time is it? Crap, it's 3 o'clock. See, I already know. I think I wasn't done till 1. So already on our docket today, he wants to play Diablo 2 Resurrected. He wants to cook out on the grill, he being Steve. And then we're going to watch a horror movie tonight because we've decided every weekend in October we're going to watch horror movies together, which I'm all for. So I'm trying to pack this all in, and I knew I wanted to film because I got Daphne done. I was totally excited about that. And truth be told, I ordered a Nomad Cosmetics palette, and I never used Nomad before. Obviously, it's vegan. And I just wanted to try out the eyeshadows, which is what you're seeing. So I knew I wanted to do all of this. I was like, how am I getting all of this done? How am I even going to cast on that project? It's just a lot. I took on a lot for this weekend. So that's why I'm going to drink this beer. I'm gonna I'm gonna take a 5 minute breather. It's like my watch was like, if you have an Apple Watch or even I don't know if the phone does it, but you get the reminders to breathe. I'm like, oh gee, thanks, Apple. So anyway, I don't know when I'm gonna cast on the MKAL. It will be this weekend. Like I said, I don't want to give spoilers because I don't want to do, if someone is like doesn't want to know what it is, I don't want to ruin it for them. So I will update you on my progress verbally, probably not with photographs or video. So that, and look at this cute bag, you guys. This is, I think it's Katydidbags on Etsy. And I found out about these bags through Chevy Rell, which is a knitting well, it's a craft podcast. And Chevis, the woman who does that podcast, I absolutely love her. I think she's fabulous. She's not vegan, so there's that. But that, I mean, I love all people. It doesn't really matter to me. But for those of you who don't want to know about non-vegan things, close your ears. Um, but she always recommended these bags, and I hopped on the Etsy shop just to check it out. I was like, oh my gosh, they're tarot cards. So this will be housing the 2021 Stephen Cal Shawlography MKAL. And that's where we're at with the knitting. The other thing that I wanted to get accomplished this weekend, and how I'm going to do this, I don't even know, is for those of you who don't know, not only do I love to knit and do geeky things, other things, but I'm a huge D&Der. And I'm going to say maybe 2 weeks ago, this came out and I finally went and picked it up. This is a campaign setting along with an adventure inside of it that takes place in the Feywild. If this means nothing to you, basically RPG is a role-playing game, and you pick a character, you build your character, and with other people you collaborate, what? You tell a story collaboratively. I think I need to slow down. Maybe this has more alcohol in it than I thought, so I'll drink more. Anywho, that, I haven't even opened it. I would like to open it and read part of it at some point this weekend. So there's that. So I have bitten off more than I can chew for the next couple of weeks. And I am trying to organize myself. I don't know how successful I'm going to be. And I feel like this podcast is a direct correlation to how my brain is operating right now, because I feel like this is a hot mess. I'm a hot mess. My knitting's kind of a hot mess. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Like, that happens. How I'm going to respond to that is with action and not inactivity. And I think that, I was talking to my husband about, you have to kind of take the reins and take control of things that are happening in your life that you can. And I don't want to get into the particulars of why we were talking about that, but I think it's super important to acknowledge where you're at so that you know how to set a goal and where to get to. If you don't know where you're at, whether it's with physical health, with your mental health, with friendships, whatever it is. If you don't know where you are, I'm not quite sure how you know to navigate forward. Like, I'm not sure how anyone does that. So I always kind of try to stop and assess, okay, here's where I'm at, this is what I've got, and this is kind of where I want to go with this. And then whatever I'm driven to do is what I'm going to do. So, like, usually this time of year, I would be running a half marathon. And I had a horrible injury. Well, I say horrible. Horrible to me, not horrible, really. It was just a really bad back injury. Um, and I went through months and months of physical therapy. And I finally got to be able to start running again. But I'm nowhere near the level where I can run a half marathon. That being said, I need to know where I'm at right now with my running to know how to plan a training program to get me to a point where I can run a half marathon again, or even a marathon. If I don't know where I'm at, I've got nothing to go with. I don't have real data. I don't have anything that's true to base plans on. And I think that that is my takeaway for the past 2 weeks and for going forward is honestly assessing where I'm at. Like my Halloween sweater, where am I at? I suck at tension. I'm awful at it. I'm okay with being awful at it because that means I've got, don't drink my beer. There's a cat trying to get into my beer. Knowing that I'm awful at it gives me room to improve. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get better. So next year, when I knit my second Halloween sweater, which I will do, I will have marked improvement, I hope. You know, I think after doing Daphne, my intimidation level of joining the 2021 MKAL is not there anymore because I accomplished something that I set out to do, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. You know, hi. You trying to say hi? Hi, baby. Hello. Cat break. Okay. On that note, I think Maggie's trying to tell me that it's time to, hey, mom, pay attention to me and not to the camera.
Yes. Yes, I will do that.
Okay, so I don't have any goals for the next 2 weeks other than to hang in on both the challenges that I signed up for. I guess I do have goals. And to crack open my new D&D book, to work on my sweater, and yeah, hi. What are you doing, silly? And to enjoy autumn autumnal artisan beverages. So be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and love yourself so that you can share that kindness and love with everyone around you. We all need a shining force of sunshine in the world. So let it be you. See you guys. Toodles. Goodbye.